What's up, guys? It is Colt from the Tech Reviewer, and I am back with another video where I will be talking about my experiences using the SmallHD 702 Bright. Now, prior to picking up the 702, I have been using its younger sibling, the 502 HD, in addition to an Atomos Shogun recorder for all of my video monitoring needs. Now, the 702 takes the same great compact design as the 502, but amplifies it into a slightly larger form factor. The frame of the 702 is made of an aircraft-grade aluminum, giving it a rigid base structure to work from. The outer panels have a rubberized coating that have a soft, smooth feel to it, while still offering ample protection for the components within. Now, the Atomos Shogun has gotten a ton of complaints about its cheap, plasticky feel, despite being originally priced at $2,000 and more recently dropped to $1,500. I'm happy to say the 702 Bright has a much more premium feel that resembles the quality you'd expect from an Apple product. On the body, you've got 4 1/4-20 mounting points for attaching to something like a monitor arm or a tripod head, and on the rear there's of course an HDMI in and out as well as an SDI in and out. Something really unique about the 702 compared to the 502 is that you can natively use 2 common battery types without dealing with any detachable battery plates. Since there's a lot of extra space compared to the 502, SmallHD has found a way to integrate both battery connections, so you can insert a Canon LP E6 battery and push up to lock it in place, or you can take a Sony L series battery and push it down to secure it firmly. You'll get a lot more juice out of the higher capacity Sony variant, but with these being common battery types, chances are you may have some of extra ones lying around like I did. It is worth noting that most third-party batteries will not show up working battery indicators when powering the 702, but they are still able to run the monitor. The panel itself is a full HD with a 19x20 by 1080 resolution. It is protected by an optically bonded glass protector that also has an anti-reflective coating. An advantage of this high-end panel is its color accuracy, as it falls within 80% of the NTSC spectrum and 100% of the Rec 709 color space. Of course, the biggest selling point of the 702 Bright is its 1000 nit max brightness, which makes outdoor shooting a breeze without the need for any obnoxious sun hoods like on the Atomos Shogun or Ninja Assassin, whom require one due to their panel's poor 400 nit maximum output. Unlike the Atomos competition, the 702 does not have a touchscreen, which may sound like a downfall to some, yet I think it is a good call for a few reasons. After a day of shooting on the Shogun, the glossy display becomes riddled with grime and fingerprints, and trying to use the touchscreen with the sun hood is just plain inconvenient. If you're trying to use the monitor in a cold climate where gloves are required for comfortable shooting, you can still access all the necessary features of the 702 on the fly without the need to remove your gloves. You can navigate the entire 702 interface via a small thumbstick, back button, power button, and capture button. They also sell a wireless remote that works well if you need to make changes when the monitor is mounted to a piece of gear or structure where the buttons are out of reach. Moving to the user interface, SmallHD has worked hard on developing an advanced page builder OS, which can come off as a bit daunting at first, but is really simple once you understand how it works. The OS is separated into a row of pages, which you can create and manually add or remove monitoring tools to. This means you can have one page dedicated to tools you'd use only when shooting on a green screen, another for nailing exposure, another for checking focus, and another with tools that are there to help you with framing your shots. If this sounds complex, you can just mix and match any tools into a single page and just turn the individual tools on and off when you need them. The OS allows this to be pretty open-ended, and you can customize the layout to your specific needs. As for the selection of monitoring tools, you'll get pretty much every tool you'd ever need and more. This includes all the basic tools you'd expect, like focus peaking, frame guides, waveforms, histograms, false color, and zebras, as well as advanced features like 3D LUT support, image overlays, and an RGB parade. My only complaint in this area has to do with the lack of a working vector scope, as they give you the option in the menu, but it is disabled with an error message coming soon, and it even has a typo. Considering the same goes for the 500 series monitors, which debuted almost a year ago, I'm not too pleased that it's taken them this long to get a working vector scope when my Atomos Shogun has had it since day one. SmallHD has really set themselves apart from the competition, not only from their wide array of monitoring tools, but more importantly from the ability to customize each of them in such an in-depth manner that I've yet to see matched on any competing monitors. For example, in just the waveform setting alone, I have the ability to choose from 3 different types, the exact size that I'd like the waveform, the location of the waveform on the screen, and the opacity level that the waveform will display in. These tools go above and beyond what I'm used to, and it makes the use really pleasant as I can cater the display tools exactly to my liking. So the first page in the Page OS is reserved for the monitor settings and allows you to customize things like inputs, outputs, user profiles, calibration, and more. The second page will be default for your output preview page if this option is enabled, and allows you to choose what monitoring tools, if any, you want the outputting display to show. For example, if you are shooting a commercial for a client whom is watching on an external monitor, you may want to take away all the ugly monitoring tools which may be useful to you but will distract from his viewing experience. Additionally, for those of us shooting in a flat profile like S-Log, you can easily throw a lot of your choice on the ungraded flat footage to make the outcome give a more appealing image to your client or director. From there, you are at free rein to add as little or as many pages as you'd like, up to a maximum of 8 additional pages. Since picking up the 702, I have been really pleased with its performance on my A7R2, but there is a pretty significant incompatibility bug with my FS7 that has yet to be determined whether it is on a SmallHD or Sony's end. No matter if I go from my FS7's SDI or HDMI port to the 702 Bright, I will always get a slight jittering when zoomed in, which I don't experience at all when using the HDMI out on my A7R2 or RX100 Mark IV. The image is still usable enough for my needs when zoomed out, but the jitter is noticeable when you look closely and only intensifies when you're using the joystick's zoom-in feature. After doing a bit of research, I found that this problem has happened to multiple other FS7 owners with a 702, and they have been in touch with SmallHD to try and get a fix in a future firmware update. Besides this little bug and the lack of a working vector scope, I'm overall impressed with the 702 Bright. It has taken all the positive aspects that I love about the 502 and enlarges it into a slightly larger form factor with a 7-inch Full HD 1000 nit display that is a dream to pull focus with even in bright outdoor conditions. Sure, you'll pay a premium for this type of quality, feature set, and performance, but this isn't meant to be an entry-level field monitor and is designed with the professional in mind. I think of the 702 Bright as an investment and one that will help me accurately nail my exposure, focus, white balance, and framing to avoid any major headaches in post. For a more in-depth written review, visit the link in the description below, and if you found this video to be useful, be sure to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Thanks for your support, and I hope this video helped you decide whether the 702 Bright is the right model for your needs. Thanks.